pistol shot at 5 o'clock. The bells in heaven ring. Tell me what you've done it for. No, I won't tell you a thing. Yesterday I begged you before I hit the ground. All right, I could keep singing this because I think it's such a great song. We're looking at China Doll by the Grateful Dead. It came out in 1974. It is just one of their most hauntingly beautiful songs. I mean, it's gorgeous. Like, it is sad, but just beautiful. Like, I don't know what it is. I just really have a deep connection with the song. I don't know why, but it turns on and I hear Jerry start singing and I just get entranced. It's gorgeous. It is so, it just takes the words out of me, and I don't want to just ramble on about this song. So yeah, guys, let's look at China Doll. There are kind of two parts to this song. We have our verse, and then we have just kind of the ending, the outro. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know what you want to call it. But we have our outro, right? And so, yeah, we're gonna jump into this. Like I said, it's a gorgeous song. There's lots of fun little things that we can throw into this as well. But yeah, let's jump on into this. So, depending on what you're kind of the version you're listening to, sometimes they're kind of holding out on the D minor chord. Sometimes they're going down to a B diminished 7th chord. And it's just one of those things where you either have to kind of just figure out or just kind of wait for them to go into our first chord. I'm sorry I don't have a better explanation for the intro, but it really just kind of depends on what you're listening to. So when we get into the first chord of our verse, D minor. I sometimes throw in that D minor 7, but you don't have to. It makes it a little kind of jazzy, you know. And with this kind of being a more solemn, somber song, the D minor is realistically much more fitting, I think. And our next chord is an F major 7, and so you can go down and play it with our root on the low E string here. You can go up and play it with the bar chord up here on the 8th fret of our A. But the thing that I really like to do is when we're in this D minor shape here, I like doing a little walk up. And so that's going to be on our A string, 5, 7, 8, right? And that 8 is our F note. And so walk up. And so what we have for this F major 7 here is we're going pinky, at least for me, I'm going pinky on the 8th fret of our A string. And then I'm going ring finger, 7th fret on our D string. And then just with our pointer, barring all the other strings below that, right? Our B, G, and E. I don't know why I can't name strings in their correct order, but oh well, I guess. And so I really like doing that because it just gets those nice passing tones. But totally up to you on whatever's easiest for you, all right? If you want, you can do the walk it up that way, whatever's easiest. And so our next chord is going to be a B diminished 7th chord. So that's going to be 2 on our A, and I'm using my middle finger. And then we're going 3rd fret on the D, and I'm using my ring. I'm going 1st fret on the G, and with that I'm using my pointer finger. And then with my pinky, it's on the 3rd fret of our B string. And just, it's such a dark, haunting chord in this context. I don't know, it's so gripping. It's so gripping. So yeah, we have D minor, F major 7, B diminished 7. Next is just a B flat chord. So, 1 on the A, and then we're barring the 3rd fret across the D, G, and B. And then we can go to an A chord. And then, I like to do a little walk up because we're going back to our D minor. So I like to go on our A string, O, 2, 3, and then 5, or 5 is where the D minor comes in. So B flat, A, walk it up into D minor, right? And so we're going D minor again to an F major 7 again. Then we go to a C chord. To an A7. And so a couple different ways that we can do this, right? I like doing the little walk up on our low E, 3, 4, 5. But you can also get some really cool on our C. You can kind of do a walk up, like 7 on the D and then 5, 6 on the G. Lots of like cool ways to walk into this chord. It's a major 3rd, right? It's our major 3 chord. And so there's just lots of cool sneaky ways of getting in there. It's really fun. It's really fun to play with this song. So our whole verse, D minor, F major 7, then we go to a B diminished 7, B flat, A, D minor, F major 7, then we go to a C, then we go to an A7. There you go, all right? That's our verse. So if you're jamming on this song, if you find a version where they're taking a solo over this section, if you're playing with people, you have a backing track and there's a jam section. For this part, for this chord progression, we're gonna solo in the D minor pentatonic, right? Can't believe I messed that up. Oh well. It's like the only scale the guitars know, and I messed it up. And so yeah, if you're jamming D minor pentatonic, and then it's a haunting, sad song though, so it's definitely not something that you're gonna be like shredding, right? It's gonna be, you can dial it back a little bit, really pull at those heartstrings of people, right? And so now we get to the very, very, very end of this. Take up your china doll. It's only fractured. Just a little nervous for the fall, from the fall. La 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 la. I'm not a singer, guys, I'm sorry. But for that section, it's 3 chords. We're starting off with a D major. You can do the bar chord, you can do an open chord. Pick up your china doll. Then we're gonna go to an A chord. It's only fractured. Is it fractured or fragile? Fractured. It's gotta be fractured. I don't know why. So D, A, G. Just a little nervous from the fall. Back to a D. And then after that, they're just going D to G, D to G, D to G. So we're on that D, G, and then la, 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 back to a D chord. That is it. That is it, guys. Those are the 2 sections. If that's the section that you guys start jamming over, right? You're doing a happy, soulful, the kind of dark feelings have resolved finally, and I don't know, oh man, this is such a touching song. Just so many emotions. There are so many ways to really look at this, I think, on an emotional level. I love it. And so you're jamming to that part where they're just going D to G, D to G, D to G. It's an interesting place to jam because we're technically in the key of D when we're going from a 1 to a 4 chord, right? So you could just do a D major pentatonic or the relative B minor, whichever one that helps you figure that out. But what's also interesting about this is if we look at it, it's 2 chords. So this could tell us a lot of different information. It can also be a 5 to 1 in the key of G. So you can kind of get a little weird in there. But I mean, safest bet for sure is just playing it like we're in D major. But you can kind of go with that E Dorian mode if you really wanted to kind of keep it a somewhat dark. And a good reason being so is if we look at the relative minor of G, well, that's E, right? E minor. And where does the E minor fall in the key of D? Well, it's the 2nd chord. So if we look at that, if we go to the 2nd mode, it's E Dorian. And then that way we're still hitting all of our notes in D major, but we still kind of get a dark sound to it. You can look at this as a D mixolydian. There's just so many ways to play this song. And yeah, it's a great song, and I don't want to just blabber on because I totally can. I love this song. But yeah, guys, that is China Doll. I guess we can hurry and go through it one last time. So verse, D minor, F major 7, B diminished 7, B flat, to A, back to D minor, F major 7, to C, A7. Now let's go to the very end. I don't know, is it called like a refrain? I don't really know. D, to A, to G, to D, to G, back to D. There you go. That is it, guys. Obviously that, the first verse section, I think they play that 4 times. I think there's 4 verses and then the very end. But yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. It's been a long time since I've done a Jerry Grateful Dead video, so I promise I'll bring some more back. But yeah, guys, once again, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or requests below. And if not, happy jamming, guys. Take it easy.